Okay guys, this is CN2. So basically CN is a computer network, right? So a network, as you know, is a communication, which means this computer will be the device. So in CN we are learning the communication between end devices, or whatever devices it may be. It can also be network device, it doesn't matter what type of device it is. Now this communication, it happens in an area, which means it will be what you call local network area or global, whatever it may be. But then on this video we'll be focusing on the LAN and further it out to VLANs. So let's see how that goes. Let's say, for example, let me just delete this. Yeah, okay. So let's talk about VLAN. So since we have maybe this PC and then this PC, they are in a same area. So basically you must understand that within organization we're going to have departments and then departments. Now these departments, they have different uh, intentions, or whatever it may be, different use, basically EUs, and then this is AUs. So it's important that this department, they don't clash, because they don't have same goal, basically. So it means that they will have their own network. So this is what happened. Let's just do that. So when I say local network area, it means it's a devices on the same organization. But in order to have a communication between these two, there must be something which connects them, and that something is called a switch. Now let's just say this is a switch actually. Now this switch has a port. This port is what connects these two devices. Let's just say this is the connection which is led here, and then this is the connection which is led here, and this is still the simpler explanation, right? So when PC, sorry about that, when PC1 wants to talk to PC5, it will take its frames to the switch and tell it go to PC5 and tell PC5 to get this message. Now problem with this is that each since I said each department must have its own network, it means if we are having if we are having four departments, it just means that the company or the organization must have four network, right? Must have four network, which results in something like this. So that's why they introduced the VLAN, to reduce having so much space of switches and its cost. This is expensive. So in order for us to have to reduce the cost, we just decided, how about we have one switch which has many LANs on it. Now since these are what you call the physical LAN, the reason why we're calling them physical LAN is because we can see the different LANs. Now then they said no, let's have one switch and introduce what is called VLAN. So how do we do that? So in order for us to succeed in this, it means that the following has to be done. Sorry about that. It means the following has to be done. Okay, let's look for another page. So instead of having 4 switches which represent each LAN, let's just have this one switch here. Now this one switch here, which has so many ports, it can have different LANs on it. And then how do we have this LAN? And then they said simply by just assigning a logical LAN to each and every port. So for example, let's say we have those 4 LAN that we were talking about. Then they say this first one, let's make it to be our LAN 1, which is virtual LAN 1. And then we have our other virtual LAN 2. And then we have other one which is virtual LAN 4. Yeah, VLAN 3, I'm sorry, but even if it's 4, it doesn't matter. Then the last one, it will be our VLAN 4. So by this way, we will come from having 4 switches for 4 departments into having only one switch for 4 departments. So how does this work? So basically, you have to configure certain ports to belong to a certain VLAN. For example, let's just say you want to configure for VLAN 1. It means that the interface of FA01, 02, 03, 04 will belong to what? To VLAN 1. That's how you come up with the VLANs to each other, or you apply the VLANs to the switch. You are applying certain switch ports to belong to a certain VLAN. So I'm going to say this again. Imagine we had each switch for different department 1, department 2, department 3, department 4. The reason we are having different switch is because these departments have different use, different meaning, so we don't want them to collide or anything. That's why they have their own switches. And then this is called a LAN. Before it becomes a virtual LAN, it was a LAN because it was the physical LAN between devices. Now it is a virtual LAN because you can't see the division of the LAN in one switch. I mean, you can have these 24 ports, but how do you know this port belongs to which network? You see it through your configurations. That's why it is a virtual LAN. It's not something that you can point, because you can change port 1 from VLAN 1 to VLAN 2 or VLAN 3. So basically, it's not something that it is constant, or it is made constant, or it is made to be there forever, right? So now this video was just explaining the VLAN and the LAN. Now on the next one, I'll be going deeper with the VLAN.